Marcus Washington's hand trembled as he reached for the pill bottle on the highest shelf, the one labeled, "Do not take." His daughter was dying, and the doctors had given up. 3 months, they said. Maybe 6 if they were lucky. But there was another way, a desperate way, and it started with the woman he'd sworn never to speak to again. The woman who'd abandoned them 7 years ago. The woman standing in his kitchen right now, holding the only thing that could save their daughter's life. He looked at her and said 2 words that would either save his family or destroy what was left of it. This story spans 3 cities and 7 years of pain. Drop your city name in the comments so I can see how far this story has traveled. The fluorescent lights in Memphis Children's Hospital burned Marcus Washington's eyes, but he couldn't look away from his daughter's face. Zoe lay in the bed, tubes running from her thin arms, monitors beeping a rhythm that had become the soundtrack of his nightmares. "Mr. Washington." Dr. Patterson stood in the doorway, her face showing the careful neutrality that doctors practiced when they had bad news. "Can we talk outside?" Marcus kissed Zoe's forehead. She didn't stir. The medications kept her floating in a twilight state where pain couldn't reach her, where reality couldn't reach her. He followed Dr. Patterson into the sterile hallway. "The latest scans show the tumors are growing faster than we anticipated," she said quietly. "The experimental treatment isn't working." "What are you saying?" "I'm saying we're out of options. The cancer is too aggressive. It's in her liver now, her lungs. We can keep her comfortable, but—" "No." Marcus's voice was steel. "There has to be something else. Another trial, another drug. Something." Dr. Patterson's professional mask slipped, showing the woman underneath. A woman who'd watched too many children die. "I'm so sorry, Marcus. We've tried everything. Sometimes medicine just isn't enough." "How long?" 3 months, maybe less. The hallway tilted. Marcus grabbed the wall, forcing air into his lungs. 3 months. 90 days. That's all his 9-year-old daughter had left. "There's a meeting tomorrow with palliative care," Dr. Patterson continued. "They'll help us make Zoe comfortable for whatever time she has remaining. We should discuss hospice options, whether you want to bring her home." "I need to make some calls," Marcus interrupted, walking away before she could see him break. In the family waiting room, he collapsed into a plastic chair that had held 1,000 other desperate parents. His phone felt like lead in his hand. Who do you call when your child is dying? Who has answers when medicine fails? His sister Keisha answered on the first ring. "Marcus, how's Zoe?" "They're giving up." His voice cracked. 3 months, Keish. That's all they're giving her." "Oh, Marcus. Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. What can I do? You want me to come down there? I can be on a plane tonight." "There's nothing anyone can do." He pressed his palm against his eyes. 9 years old. She's only 9. "Listen to me." Keisha's voice turned fierce. "You don't give up. You hear me? You're Marcus Washington. You raised that baby alone when everyone said you couldn't. You worked 3 jobs to keep a roof over her head. You don't quit now. This is different. This is cancer. So fight it. Find another doctor, another hospital. Hell, take her to Mexico, Europe, wherever. But you don't let her die without throwing everything at it." After they hung up, Marcus sat in the silence of other people's grief. The waiting room walls were covered with children's drawings. Happy stick figures, bright suns, all the hope that lived in this place. His phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "I heard about Zoe. I have information that might help. Meet me tomorrow. 10 a.m. The coffee shop on Union. Come alone. N." Marcus stared at the letter. N. Only one person signed text that way. Nicole, his ex-wife. The woman who'd walked out when Zoe was 2. The woman he hadn't spoken to in 7 years. He should delete it, block the number. The last thing he needed was Nicole inserting herself into this nightmare. But another text came through. "There's a treatment. Experimental. Not FDA approved. It's working in Europe. I know people. Please. Let me help her. Marcus looked up at the ceiling, searching for answers in the water-stained tiles. 3 months, the doctors said. What did he have to lose? He typed back. How did you even get this number? Your sister. I called Keisha when I heard. Marcus, I know you hate me. I know I don't deserve to even speak her name. But this isn't about us. Please. His fingers hovered over the keyboard. 7 years of anger fought with 3 months of desperation. Anger lost. 10 a.m. You get 15 minutes. The next morning, Marcus left Zoe sleeping under the nurse's watchful eyes and drove across town to the coffee shop. His hands gripped the steering wheel so tight his knuckles ached. Nicole was already there, sitting at a corner table. For a moment, he almost didn't recognize her. She'd changed. The stressed, overwhelmed girl who'd fled their tiny apartment was gone. In her place sat a woman in expensive clothes, her hair professionally styled, her face showing the kind of care that came with money and time. She stood when she saw him. Marcus, thank you for coming. He didn't sit. Talk. Please, just sit down. I have files information. You have 15 minutes, 14 now. Nicole flinched but opened her laptop. There's a clinical trial in Switzerland. They're using genetically targeted therapy for pediatric cancers. The success rate is 43% for cases like Zoe's. 43%. I know it's not great, but it's better than zero. Better than hospice. Marcus finally sat, pulling the laptop toward him. The screen showed medical journals' trial results data he couldn't fully understand. Why do you even know about this? He asked. Nicole's face tightened. I've been following her case. How? I'm Facebook friends with Keisha. I see her posts about Zoe. When she posted about the diagnosis 6 months ago, I started researching. I have resources now, connections. I've been tracking every trial, every treatment option. 6 months. Marcus's voice went deadly quiet. You've known for 6 months that our daughter has cancer, and you're just now reaching out. I didn't think you'd want to hear from me. I don't, but apparently I need to. He focused on the screen. How much does this trial cost? Nicole's pause told him everything. How much, Nicole? 300,000 plus travel lodging care. I don't have that kind of money. I'm a construction supervisor. Do you know how much I make? Do you have any idea how much I've already spent on treatments? I'm mortgaged to my eyeballs. I've maxed out every credit card. I've borrowed from family, friends, people I barely know. I know. You don't know anything about our life. I know you've been fighting this alone. I know you're drowning in medical bills. I know the house on Springdale is in foreclosure. I know everything, Marcus. Her voice broke. I've been watching from the shadows for 7 years, and it's been killing me. Marcus stood abruptly. I can't do this. I can't sit here and listen to you talk about watching us struggle. You left. You chose to walk away. I was sick. We were all sick. You think I wasn't depressed, exhausted, scared out of my mind. But I stayed. I stayed because that's what parents do. You're right. Tears rolled down Nicole's face, but she made no move to wipe them. You're completely right. I failed her. I failed both of you. But Marcus, I can help now. I have the money. He froze halfway to the door. What? I have the money for Switzerland. All of it. The trial, the travel, everything. I'll pay for it all. Where did you get? I've been working in pharmaceutical sales for 5 years. I'm good at it. Really good. I made vice president last year. I've been saving every penny, waiting for... She took a shaky breath. Waiting for my chance to fix what I broke. Marcus turned slowly. You want to buy your way back into her life? No. I want to save her life. What happens after, if there is an after, that's up to you. But Marcus, our daughter is dying. Let me help. The coffee shop bustled around them. People ordered lattes, complained about traffic, lived their normal lives. Marcus stood in the middle of it all, facing an impossible choice. Accept help from the woman who'd abandoned them, or watch his daughter die with his pride intact. If I agree to this, he said slowly, there are conditions. Anything. She doesn't know about you, not like you were. I told her you died when she was little. Car accident. Clean. Final. She's mourned you and moved on. Nicole's face crumpled. You told her I was dead. It was easier than explaining why her mother didn't want her. I did want her. I just couldn't. I don't care about your reasons anymore. Marcus's voice was ice. What matters is Zoe. If we do this, you're not her mother. You're a donor, someone helping a sick child, that's all. But when she gets better, if she gets better, we'll reassess. But right now, you're dead to her, and you're going to stay dead. Those are my terms. Nicole nodded, wiping her face. Okay, whatever you want. I just want to help her. Second condition. You don't come to the hospital. You don't try to see her. All communication goes through me. Marcus, please. I just want to see her once. Those are the terms. Take them or leave them. For a long moment, Nicole stared at him. Then she pulled out her phone, opening her banking app. Give me your account information. I'll transfer the money today. You can book the flights, start the process with the Swiss clinic. I'll email you all the contact information. Marcus's hands shook as he pulled out his phone. This felt wrong. Taking money from her felt like betrayal, like admitting he couldn't save his daughter alone. But Zoe's face flashed in his mind. His baby girl eaten alive by cancer down to 90 pounds. Zoe, who'd always wanted to see Paris and ride a train through mountains and taste real Swiss chocolate. Zoe, who deserved every chance to live. He gave Nicole the account number. 10 minutes later, his phone buzzed with a bank notification. $300,000 had been deposited. The clinic contact is Dr. Heinrich Muller, Nicole said, typing rapidly. I'm sending you his email. Tell him I referred you. They're expecting your call. Marcus stared at his phone. The money was real. This was actually happening. Why? He asked quietly. After all this time, why now? Nicole closed her laptop. Because I've spent 7 years punishing myself for being a coward. I left because I was drowning in postpartum depression and didn't know how to ask for help. I convinced myself you'd both be better off without me. But you weren't better off. You were struggling. And I watched from the sidelines like a coward. You could have come back any time. Could I, really, after a month, 6 months, a year? She laughed bitterly. Every day that passed made it harder. The gap got wider. Until one day I looked up and 7 years were gone and she didn't even know who I was. That's on you. I know. But Marcus, when Keisha posted about the cancer, something broke in me. Or maybe something finally fixed itself. I realized I had one more chance to be her mother, even if she never knew it. One chance to save her life from the shadows. So that's what I'm doing. Marcus picked up his phone. I need to go. Make arrangements. Wait. Nicole pulled something from her purse. A small gift box wrapped in purple paper. It's her birthday next week, right? She'll be 10. In the hospital, probably. Could you give this to her? What is it? A necklace. Silver star. I know she likes astronomy. Keisha posts about it. Marcus took the box, feeling its weight. She can't know it's from you. Tell her it's from you. I don't care. Just let her have it. He walked out without another word. In his truck, Marcus sat in the parking lot staring at the gift box. Then he opened his banking app, confirming the money was real. $300,000, a lifeline from a ghost. He dialed Dr. Muller's number. 2 weeks later, Marcus and Zoe landed in Zurich. The Swiss air was crisp, the mountains stunning. Zoe managed a weak smile from her wheelchair as they drove to the clinic. It's pretty here, Daddy. Wait until you're stronger. We'll go up the mountains. Eat all the chocolate you can handle. Promise? Promise, baby girl. Dr. Mueller was a kind man in his 60s who spoke perfect English. He examined Zoe gently, reviewing her files with Marcus in a private office. The cancer is aggressive. he confirmed. But we've had success with similar cases. The treatment will be difficult. She'll be very sick before she gets better. She's already very sick. Yes, but there's hope here, Mr. Washington. Real hope. They started treatment the next day. Gene therapy targeted radiation medications with names Marcus couldn't pronounce. Zoe's hair fell out in clumps. She vomited until there was nothing left. She cried and asked to go home. But Marcus stayed beside her bed every night, holding her hand, telling her stories about the life they'd have when she was well. "We'll get a dog," he promised. "A big one. You can name it." "Really?" Even sick, her eyes lit up. "You always said dogs were too much work." Turns out I was wrong about a lot of things. 3 months into treatment, Dr. Muller walked into Zoe's room with scans in hand and a smile on his face. "The tumors are shrinking," he announced. Significantly, whatever this protocol is doing, it's working. Marcus felt his knees go weak. "She's going to make it." "It's too early to say definitively, but yes, I believe she's going to make it." That night, Marcus stepped outside the clinic and called Nicole. She answered immediately. "It's working," he said without preamble. "The treatment. The tumors are shrinking." He heard her sob. "Oh, thank God. Thank God. Can I?" "No. The deal hasn't changed. But I thought you should know. You saved her life, Nicole. Whatever else happened, you saved her." "That's all I wanted. Thank you for telling me." He hung up and stared at the Swiss mountains. His daughter was going to live, but at what cost? And what happened now? 6 months after arriving in Switzerland, Zoe was declared cancer-free. The tumors were gone. Her hair was growing back in soft curls. She'd gained 20 pounds and could walk without help. "When can we go home, Daddy?" she asked one morning at breakfast. "Soon, baby, soon." But going home meant facing questions. Zoe knew someone had paid for her treatment. She wasn't stupid, and lately she'd been asking more questions. "Daddy who gave us the money to come here. Someone who wanted to help. But who? Why won't you tell me?" "It's complicated, Zoe. I'm not a baby anymore. I almost died. I think I can handle complicated." She was right. She'd been through hell and survived. She deserved the truth. But how do you tell a child that her dead mother isn't actually dead? Marcus made a decision. He called Nicole. "I need you to come to Memphis," he said. "When we get back, it's time." Time for what? Time for her to know the truth. All of it. Silence on the other end. Then quietly. "Are you sure?" "No. But she deserves to know who saved her life. And you deserve to meet the daughter you rescued." "When?" "We fly back next Tuesday. Come to the house on Friday, 6 p.m. And Nicole." "Yeah. Thank you. For everything. I should have said that months ago." "You don't owe me thanks, Marcus. I owed her a life. I'm just glad I got the chance to give it to her." The flight home was bittersweet. Zoe pressed her face against the window, watching America appear beneath the clouds. "I missed Memphis," she said. "Isn't that weird? I missed the heat and the traffic and everything." "Not weird at all. It's home." "Daddy." She turned to him. "Whatever you need to tell me when we get back about who helped us, I can handle it. I promise." Marcus pulled her close. "I know you can, baby girl. You're the strongest person I know." Friday came too fast. Marcus had cleaned the house 3 times, cooked Zoe's favorite dinner, and paced holes in the carpet. Zoe watched him with amusement. "Whoever's coming, you're really nervous about it." "That obvious. You've checked the mirror like 50 times, and you only wear that shirt for important things." The doorbell rang at exactly 6 p.m. Marcus took a deep breath. "Zoe, honey, come sit with me for a minute before I answer that. There's something I need to tell you." She sat beside him on the couch, her face curious. "Remember when you were little and I told you your mom died in a car accident?" "Yeah." "I lied." Zoe's eyes widened. "What?" "She didn't die. She left us. When you were 2. She was sick in her mind with depression and she couldn't handle being a mom, so she walked away. I don't understand. Why would you lie about that? Because I thought it would hurt less, thinking she died instead of knowing she chose to leave. I was trying to protect you. So she's alive. My mom is alive. Zoe's voice rose. Where is she? She's at the door right now. She's the one who paid for Switzerland. She's been following your life from a distance for years. And when she heard you were sick, she used everything she had to save you. Tears streamed down Zoe's face. My mom saved me. Yeah, baby, she did. Why didn't she come back before? Why did she stay away? That's something you'll have to ask her. But Zoe, you don't have to see her if you don't want to. If you want me to send her away, I will. This is your choice. Zoe wiped her face. Is she nice? I don't know anymore. I knew her a long time ago. She's different now. Did she love me before she left? I think she loved you so much it scared her. Some people run from things that scare them. Zoe stood up, squaring her thin shoulders. I want to meet her. Marcus's heart clenched. You sure? I'm sure. She saved my life, Daddy. I should at least say thank you. He walked to the door, his hand on the knob. On the other side stood 7 years of pain and maybe, just maybe, the first day of healing. He opened the door. Nicole stood there in jeans and a simple sweater, her face makeup-free and terrified. In her hands, she held a bouquet of purple flowers. Hi, she whispered. Come in. She stepped inside, and her eyes immediately found Zoe on the couch. For a long moment, mother and daughter stared at each other. Two strangers connected by blood and trauma, and an impossible second chance. Then Zoe spoke, her voice steady, despite the tears. Thank you for saving me. Nicole dropped to her knees, the flowers falling forgotten. Oh, sweetheart, thank you for letting me. Marcus watched his daughter and his ex-wife stare at each other across the living room that suddenly felt too small. Nicole was still on her knees, tears streaming down her face, and Zoe stood frozen on the couch, her hands gripping the cushions. Can I hug you? Nicole's voice cracked. Is that okay? Zoe looked at Marcus. He nodded, giving her permission to decide for herself. She stepped forward slowly, her thin frame still fragile from months of treatment. Nicole opened her arms, and Zoe walked into them. The sob that came from Nicole was raw years of grief and regret compressed into a single sound. She held Zoe like she was trying to memorize the feeling, her hands gentle on her daughter's back. I'm sorry, Nicole whispered into Zoe's hair. I'm so sorry for everything. For leaving. For missing your life. For not being strong enough. Zoe pulled back, looking up at her mother's face. Daddy said you were sick. In your mind. I was. I am. I've been getting help, but that doesn't excuse what I did. Did you ever think about me? Every single day. Every single hour. Nicole cupped Zoe's face. You were the first thing I thought about when I woke up, and the last thing before I slept. I followed your life through pictures your aunt posted. I knew when you lost your first tooth, when you won the science fair, when you made honor roll. I knew everything and nothing at the same time. That sounds lonely. Nicole laughed through her tears. It was. But I deserved lonely. I just didn't want you to be lonely too. Zoe stepped back, processing. Marcus stayed by the door, giving them space, but ready to intervene if needed. Why did you really leave? Zoe asked. Not the sick part, the real reason. Nicole glanced at Marcus, who nodded. Truth. They'd agreed on truth. I was 23 years old, Nicole began. Your daddy and I, we were so young. We didn't plan to have a baby. When I got pregnant, we were terrified but excited. We thought love would be enough. It wasn't. Love was there, but I wasn't prepared for how hard it would be. You cried all the time. I couldn't figure out how to make you happy. Your daddy was working 2 jobs, sometimes 3. I was alone with you for hours and hours, and I started feeling like I was disappearing. Like I wasn't Nicole anymore, just someone who was failing at being a mother. Zoe sat back down on the couch. So you left. So I left. And it was the worst decision of my life. I thought you'd be better off without me dragging you down. I thought your daddy could find someone better. Someone who knew how to be a good mom. Did he? Did he what? Find someone better. Marcus finally spoke. I didn't look. I was too busy raising you. Nicole's face showed fresh pain at that. He gave up everything for you. His social life, dating, his own happiness. He became both parents because I couldn't handle being one. But you came back, Zoe said. When I got sick. Why then? Because I finally had something I could give you. Money, resources, a way to save your life even if I couldn't be in it. I thought maybe if I could do this one thing it would balance out all the things I didn't do. Does it balance out? The question hung in the air. Nicole looked at Marcus, then back at Zoe. No, she said honestly. Nothing balances out abandoning your child. But maybe it's a start. A way to begin making amends. Zoe picked at a loose thread on the couch. I don't know how to feel about you. That's okay. I mean, you saved my life. That's huge. But you also left me. Both things are true. Yes, both things are true. Daddy says people are complicated, that someone can do a really bad thing and a really good thing, and both are real. Nicole smiled softly. Your daddy's a smart man. He is. Zoe looked at Marcus with pure love. He's the best dad in the world. He slept in a chair next to my hospital bed every night for 6 months. He read me stories when I couldn't sleep. He held me when I threw up. He never once made me feel like I was a burden. That's because you weren't, Marcus said quietly. You were my purpose. Can I ask you something? Zoe turned back to Nicole. If I want to get to know you, is that okay? Or do I have to decide right now if I forgive you? You don't have to decide anything. We can go as slow as you want. What if I want to be mad at you sometimes? Then be mad. You have every right. What if some days I don't want to see you at all? Then I'll wait until you do. Zoe nodded, thinking. Okay, I think I'd like to try. Getting to know you, but I need rules. Marcus felt pride swell in his chest. His daughter finding her power even in this. What kind of rules? Nicole asked. First, you can't leave again. If we do this, you have to stay. Even when it's hard, even when I'm mean to you. I'll stay, I promise. Second, you have to be honest. Always. No more lying about stuff to protect me. Honest. Got it. Third, Daddy's in charge. If he says you can't come over, you can't. If he says we need a break, we take one. He's the one who stayed. He gets to make the rules. Nicole looked at Marcus. I agree to that. And fourth, Zoe's voice got smaller. You have to tell me about when I was a baby. The good parts. Before you left. I want to know if you loved me then. Oh, sweetheart, I loved you so much. Nicole's voice broke again. You were the most beautiful baby. You had this way of grabbing my finger and holding on so tight. And when you smiled, your whole face lit up. I have pictures if you want to see them. I took hundreds before I left. You kept them. I kept everything. Every ultrasound. Every hospital bracelet. The hat they put on you when you were born. I couldn't be with you, but I couldn't let go either. Marcus cleared his throat. How about we have dinner? I made Zoe's favorite. There's plenty. Zoe looked relieved at the interruption. I'm actually really hungry. They moved to the kitchen, the normalcy of setting the table creating a buffer against the emotional intensity. Nicole hesitated at the doorway. Should I help? You can sit, Marcus said. This is still my house. Of course, I didn't mean... Mom, it's okay. Daddy's just protective. Zoe said the word mom, like she was testing it out, seeing how it felt in her mouth. Nicole's eyes filled with tears again. You called me Mom. Is that okay? I can say Nicole if... No, Mom is perfect. They ate pasta and salad. The conversation stilted at first, then gradually easier. Zoe told Nicole about Switzerland, about Dr. Mueller and the nice nurses, and the day she first felt strong enough to walk around the clinic. There was this boy there, Zoe said. Luca. He had leukemia. We played cards together when we felt okay. He taught me to swear in Italian. She came back knowing entirely too many bad words, Marcus added. Did Luca get better too? Nicole asked carefully. Zoe's face fell. No, he died in March, right before I got to come home. I'm sorry, honey. Me too. But his mom told me that knowing me made his last months happier, that I gave him something to look forward to. I think about that a lot. How even when things are really bad, you can still give someone something good. Marcus saw Nicole absorb that understanding the deeper meaning. Even in her absence, even through her mistakes, she'd given Zoe life. That meant something. Can I see them? Zoe asked suddenly. The pictures, from when I was a baby. Nicole pulled out her phone with shaking hands. She scrolled through, finding an album labeled with a purple heart. Zoe leaned over, looking at photos of herself as an infant. Nicole holding her in the hospital. Marcus younger and exhausted, sleeping with baby Zoe on his chest. The three of them together looking like a family. We looked happy, Zoe observed. We were, Marcus said quietly. For a while. What happened? Marcus and Nicole exchanged a look. How much truth was too much? I got overwhelmed, Nicole said. You were colicky. You cried for hours. Nothing we did helped. I started thinking I was a bad mother, that I was hurting you by being so useless. You weren't useless, Marcus said, surprising himself. You were young and scared. We both were. You didn't run. I wanted to. God knows I wanted to. But I couldn't. Something in me wouldn't let me leave her. I wish I had that something, Nicole whispered. Zoe kept scrolling through pictures. I was a cute baby. You were beautiful, Nicole said. You still are. You look so much like my mother. Same eyes. Same stubborn chin. Tell me about her. Your mom. My grandmother. And Nicole did. She told stories about Zoe's grandmother, who'd died before Zoe was born. About family Marcus had never heard about. Cousins and aunts, and a history that belonged to Zoe. Marcus listened, realizing that for all the years he'd been everything to Zoe, he'd also kept half her heritage hidden. Not deliberately, but because he didn't know it himself. After dinner, Zoe started yawning. The day had been emotionally exhausting. I should go, Nicole said, standing. You need to rest. When can I see you again? Zoe asked. Whenever you want. Your daddy has my number. Tomorrow. Zoe, that might be too much too soon, Marcus cautioned. No, it's okay, I'm sure. I want to see the pictures, all of them. And I want to hear more stories. Nicole looked at Marcus for permission. He nodded slowly. Tomorrow then. Maybe we could have lunch. Just the two of us, if your dad's okay with that. Marcus wanted to say no, wanted to keep control of this situation that felt like it was spinning away from him. But Zoe's hopeful face stopped him. 2 hours. Somewhere public. You have her back by 3. Thank you, Nicole said. Marcus, really. Thank you. After she left, Marcus found Zoe in her room looking at the photos Nicole had texted her. You okay, baby girl? I think so. Is it weird that I kind of like her? No, she's your mom. It's natural to want a relationship with her. Are you mad? At her? Yeah, still. But at you for wanting to know her, never. You get to make your own choices about this. Zoe set down her phone. Daddy, Can I ask you something? Anything. Did you love her? Really love her? Marcus sat on the edge of her bed. I did, very much. When we met, she was this bright, funny girl who made me feel like I could do anything. We were going to conquer the world together. What happened? Life happened. Bills and stress and a crying baby. The world we were going to conquer ended up conquering us instead. Do you still love her? The question surprised him. He'd been so focused on anger and betrayal that he hadn't examined what else might be there. I don't know. I love who she was. I hate what she did. I'm grateful for what she's done now. It's all mixed up. That's okay, right? To have mixed feelings. Yeah, baby. That's okay. The next day, Marcus watched Nicole pick up Zoe for lunch. His daughter climbed into Nicole's car, looking nervous, but excited. 3 o'clock, he reminded Nicole. 3 o'clock, I promise. He spent the 2 hours pacing cleaning things that didn't need cleaning, checking his phone obsessively. At 2:45, Nicole's car pulled up. Zoe got out waving goodbye, her face animated. How was it? Marcus asked as she came inside. Good, really good. We went to that diner on Poplar. She told me about her job and her house, and Daddy, she has a room, for me. She decorated it and everything. Purple walls because that's my favorite color. Marcus felt something twist in his chest. Nicole had a room for the daughter she'd never planned to see again. She asked if maybe I could spend the night sometime. Not soon, she said. Whenever I'm ready. But she has the room set up just in case. How do you feel about that? Scared, but also kind of excited? Is that bad? No, honey, that's normal. Over the next few weeks, a routine developed. Nicole came for dinner twice a week. She and Zoe went out for lunch on Saturdays. Slowly, carefully, they built something that resembled a relationship. Marcus watched from the sidelines, protective but trying not to interfere. Some days were good. Zoe would come home laughing, full of stories. Other days were hard. She'd cry and say she missed the version of her life where things were simpler. One evening, Marcus found Zoe in her room holding the star necklace Nicole had given her. You okay? I'm confused, she admitted. I'm happy getting to know her, but I also feel guilty. Guilty about what? About liking her. Like I'm betraying you. You're the one who stayed. You're the one who took care of me. And now I'm spending time with her and sometimes I have fun and it feels wrong. Marcus sat beside her. Listen to me. You loving her doesn't mean you love me less. Hearts don't work like that. They expand. There's room for both of us. You really believe that? I do. And Zoe, she's your mother. You're allowed to have a relationship with her. I won't be hurt. Promise. Promise. But that night alone in his room, Marcus let himself feel the thing he'd been pushing down. Fear. Fear that Nicole would win Zoe's heart. That money and the novelty of a mother would eclipse years of daily love. That he'd lose his daughter to the woman who'd abandoned her. The next Saturday, Nicole came to pick up Zoe for their usual lunch, but she hesitated at the door. Actually, I was hoping we could all spend the day together, the three of us. There's a festival downtown. Food trucks, music. I thought it might be nice. Marcus started to refuse, but Zoe grabbed his hand. Please, Daddy, I want us all to go. So they went. The three of them wandering through the festival like a family. People who didn't know their history probably saw a happy couple with their daughter. Zoe ran ahead to look at crafts, leaving Marcus and Nicole alone for the first time in weeks. She's amazing, Nicole said. You did that. You raised her to be kind and smart and brave. She did most of it herself. No, that's you in her. The way she faces hard things. The way she's trying to forgive me even though I don't deserve it. That's all you. They walked in silence for a moment. Marcus, I need to tell you something. His stomach dropped. What? I'm moving back to Memphis. Permanently. I took a job here. I want to be close to her, even if it's just as someone on the periphery of her life. Nicole, I'm not trying to take over. I know my place, but I can't live 3 hours away anymore. I can't miss any more of her life. Did you tell Zoe? Not yet. I wanted to tell you first. Get your permission. I can't stop you from moving. No, but I won't do it if you think it'll hurt her. Or you. Marcus watched Zoe at a jewelry stand examining handmade bracelets with serious concentration. Do it, he heard himself say. Move here. Be in her life. But Nicole, if you leave again, if you break her heart twice, I will never forgive you. I won't leave, I promise. I'm here for good this time. People break promises. I know, but I won't break this one. I can't. She's my second chance. I won't waste it. 2 months later, Nicole had an apartment 15 minutes away. Zoe started spending weekends there, sometimes coming home with stories about cooking together and movie marathons. Marcus tried to be happy about it, tried to focus on how good it was for Zoe to have her mother back. But jealousy crept in, unwanted and ugly. One night, Zoe came home from Nicole's and said, "Mom's teaching me to make her grandmother's cornbread. The recipe's been in her family for generations. She said she should have taught me years ago." Marcus felt something snap. Well, she wasn't here years ago, was she? Zoe's face fell. Daddy. No, it's fine. It's great that she's teaching you family recipes now. 7 years late, but who's counting? That's not fair. Fair. You want to talk about fair, Zoe? I changed every diaper. I walked you through every nightmare. I held you through every fever, every bad day, every disappointment. And now she shows up with money and recipes, and suddenly she's mom. Tears filled Zoe's eyes. You said it was okay. You said I could have a relationship with her. Marcus immediately regretted his words. Baby, I'm sorry, I didn't mean... Yes, you did. You're mad at me for liking her. I'm not mad at you. I'm scared, okay? Scared that I'm losing you to her. You're not losing me. Daddy, you could never lose me. You're my dad. You're my person. That doesn't change just because I'm getting to know her too. But what if one day you decide you'd rather live with her? She has money, a bigger house. Stop. Zoe's voice was firm. I don't care about money or houses. I care about you. You're the one who saved me every day. She saved me once. You saved me 1,000,000 times. Marcus pulled her into a hug, fighting tears. I'm sorry. I'm being selfish. You're being human. It's okay to be scared. But Daddy, you have to trust me. And trust that what we have can't be broken by her being here too. She was right. But fear wasn't logical. It lived in the places where logic couldn't reach. That night, Marcus couldn't sleep. He went to the kitchen for water and found Zoe there eating cereal at midnight. Can't sleep either, he asked, thinking too much. He sat beside her. Want to talk about it? Do you wish she'd never come back? The question deserved honesty. Sometimes, it was simpler when it was just us. But Zoe, I also see how happy you are getting to know her, and your happiness matters more than my comfort. I don't want you to be uncomfortable in your own life. That's not your job. Your job is to be 10 years old and figure out this complicated situation the best you can. I'm trying. Some days I'm so mad at her for missing everything. Other days I'm just glad she's here now. And then I feel guilty for being glad because it feels like I'm saying what she did was okay. It's not okay. But forgiveness doesn't mean saying something was okay. It means choosing not to let it poison you forever. Have you forgiven her? Marcus considered. I'm working on it. Some days I'm closer than others. Is it weird that I kind of want you guys to be friends? Not like together or anything, but friends. So it's not so awkward all the time. Not weird, but that's going to take time, Zoe. A lot of time. I know, but maybe it could happen. Eventually. Maybe, if we both work at it. Zoe finished her cereal. Daddy, thank you for letting her back in. I know it's hard for you. You're worth hard things, baby girl. You've always been worth it. 3 months after Nicole moved back, the three of them fell into an uneasy rhythm. Not a family exactly, but not strangers either. Something in between, undefined and complicated. Marcus found himself having conversations with Nicole about Zoe's school, her health checkups, her friendships. Co-parenting, he supposed, though the word felt strange after so many years of solo parenting. One evening, Nicole called while Zoe was at a sleepover. "I need advice," she said. Zoe asked if she could go on a school trip to Washington, D.C. "It's expensive, and I want to pay for it, but I don't want to overstep." "Why would paying for a school trip overstep?" "Because you've handled everything for so long. I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to buy her love or prove I can provide better than you." Marcus sighed. "Nicole, if you want to pay for the trip, pay for it. She's your daughter, too. You're allowed to do nice things for her." "Are you sure? Because last time I offered to buy her new shoes, you looked at me like I'd suggested kidnapping her." "That's because she didn't need new shoes. She needed to learn that we don't replace things just because something newer exists." "So, this is about teaching her values." "Everything's about teaching her values. That's what parenting is." Nicole was quiet for a moment. "I missed that. The daily decisions about what kind of person she should become. You got to shape her. I just get to know the finished product." "She's not finished. She's 10. You know what I mean. The foundation is set. You built that. I'm just visiting the construction site." "Stop." Marcus surprised himself with his vehemence. "Stop diminishing what you're doing now. You're not visiting. You're here. Present. Showing up. That matters." "Does it make up for—" "No, nothing makes up for missing 7 years. But it doesn't have to. You can't undo the past. You can only be better in the present." "When did you become so wise?" "When I became a single parent. You figure things out fast when you're the only one who can." They hung up, and Marcus realized something had shifted. The conversation had felt almost normal, like two parents discussing their child instead of two wounded people navigating a minefield. Maybe Zoe's wish wasn't so impossible after all. Maybe they could be friends. Eventually. The next day, Marcus made a decision. He called Nicole. "Saturday, 6 p.m. Come for dinner. We need to talk. Without Zoe." "Is something wrong?" "No. But we need to figure this out. Really figure it out. For her sake." Saturday came. Marcus made dinner for two. Nicole arrived exactly on time, looking nervous. They ate in awkward silence at first. Then Marcus spoke. "We need to set boundaries. Real ones. Not just about time and schedules, but about how we do this. How we raise her together." "Okay. What kind of boundaries?" "First, you and I talk directly. No using Zoe as a messenger. If you have a problem with something I'm doing, you tell me." "Agreed." "Second, major decisions get discussed together. School's medical stuff, anything big." "What about smaller things?" "Use your judgment, but if you're not sure, ask. I won't bite your head off." "You might?" "Okay, I might. But I'll try not to." Nicole smiled slightly. "What else?" "You need to understand something." Marcus set down his fork. "For 7 years, I was it. I made every decision. I knew her better than anyone else in the world. And I'm struggling with not being the only expert on my daughter anymore." "I know." "Do you? Because you come in with ideas and money and family recipes, and sometimes it feels like you're trying to prove you can be a better parent than me." "I'm not." "I know you're not trying to, but that's how it feels. And I need you to move slower. Let me adjust. Let us adjust." Nicole nodded. "I can do that. But Marcus, I need something too." "What?" "I need you to stop punishing me. Not overtly, but in little ways. The comments about me being late. The reminders about what I missed. I know what I did. I live with it every day. I don't need you to keep throwing it in my face." Marcus felt his defenses rise, then forced them down. She was right. "You're right. I do that. I'm sorry." And I need you to believe that I'm here for good, that I won't run. You keep waiting for me to leave and it makes me feel like I'm on probation. You are on probation. For how long? A year, 5 years, forever? I don't know. However long it takes me to trust you again. Fair enough. But Marcus, I need you to at least try to trust me. Give me opportunities to prove I'll stay. They sat in the weight of honest conversation. This is hard, Marcus said finally. Yeah. But it's good. We should have talked like this months ago. We weren't ready months ago. Are we ready now? Nicole met his eyes. I think we're trying to be. That's something. Over the next few weeks, things did get easier. Not perfect, but better. Marcus found himself consulting Nicole about decisions. Nicole learned to ask before offering to buy Zoe things. They were learning to be partners in parenting, even if they'd never be partners in anything else. Then Zoe's 11th birthday approached, and they faced their first real test. I want a party, Zoe announced. With both of you there, not separately, together. Marcus and Nicole exchanged a look. Are you sure? Nicole asked. Yes, you're both my parents. I want you both at my party. Honey, that might be awkward for our guests. Marcus tried. I don't care. It's my birthday. I want both my parents there. Please. So they planned a party together. Marcus handled the cake and decorations. Nicole arranged for a bounce house and games. They sent invitations together, their names side by side for the first time in 8 years. The night before the party, Marcus couldn't sleep. He found himself looking at old photos. Pictures of him and Nicole when they were young and in love, before everything fell apart. Had they ever had a chance? Or were they always doomed to fail? His phone buzzed. A text from Nicole. Can't sleep. Too nervous about tomorrow. What if everyone judges us? He typed back. Let them judge. This is about Zoe, not them. When did you become the brave one? When I had to be. I'm glad she has you. Marcus stared at those words for a long time. Then he typed something he never thought he'd say. I'm glad she has you too. Now. The party was chaos in the best way. Kids everywhere, sugar-fueled madness, joy. Marcus and Nicole worked together to manage it, their movements surprisingly coordinated. People did stare, whispered. But Zoe's happiness overshadowed everything. As the sun set and guests left, Zoe hugged both her parents. Best birthday ever, she declared. Both of you were here. That's all I wanted. After she went inside to open presents, Marcus and Nicole stood in the yard picking up paper plates and deflated balloons. We did good, Nicole said. Yeah, we did. Marcus, can I say something? Sure. I know I'll never be your favorite person. I know what I did can't be undone. But I hope someday we can be okay. For her. Marcus looked at the house where his daughter was laughing with her friends. His daughter, who was alive because this woman had saved her. His daughter, who was happier because both her parents were in her life now. I think we're already on our way to okay, he said. It just takes time. I've got time. I'm not going anywhere. And for the first time, Marcus believed her. The okay they'd found lasted exactly 3 weeks before the first real crisis hit. Marcus got the call at work on a Tuesday afternoon. The school nurse, her voice carefully neutral in that way that meant trouble. Mr. Washington, Zoe's in my office. She got into an altercation with another student. An altercation Zoe doesn't fight. Well, she did today. The other girl has a bloody nose. Can you come pick her up? Marcus left the construction site immediately, his mind racing. Zoe had never been violent. Never. In 10 years, she'd never so much as pushed another kid. When he arrived, Zoe sat in the principal's office, her knuckles scraped her face defiant. The other girl, Madison Cooper, sat across from her with tissues pressed to her nose. Principal Davis looked exhausted. Mr. Washington, thank you for coming. We have a serious situation here. What happened? Madison says Zoe attacked her unprovoked during lunch. Zoe refuses to explain herself. Marcus looked at his daughter. Zoe. She crossed her arms, saying nothing. The policy is clear, Principal Davis continued. Physical violence results in a 3-day suspension. However, given Zoe's record, if she'll explain what happened, we might be able to reduce that. Zoe talked to me, Marcus said. I'm not sorry. Her voice was ice. She deserved it. Madison's mother burst in fury, radiating off her. That little thug broke my daughter's nose. I want her expelled. Mrs. Cooper, please calm down, Principal Davis said. Calm down. Her daughter is violent. Who knows what else she's capable of? Marcus felt his own anger rising. My daughter is not violent. Something happened. Something Madison probably isn't telling you. Are you calling my daughter a liar? I'm saying there's always two sides. The side I see is my daughter bleeding and that girl sitting there without remorse. Principal Davis held up her hands. Everyone needs to take a breath. Mr. Washington, I need to call Zoe's mother too. School policy requires both parents present for suspension hearings. Marcus froze. Her mother isn't. We're not together. I'm aware, but she's listed as an emergency contact. I have to call her. 20 minutes later, Nicole rushed in her professional clothes, slightly askew from driving too fast. What happened? Is she hurt? She hurt someone else, Mrs. Cooper snapped. Your daughter is a menace. Nicole's eyes flashed. Watch how you talk about my child. Your child is the one who... Enough, Principal Davis commanded. Everyone sit. Now. They sat, the tension suffocating. Principal Davis reviewed the facts. Zoe had punched Madison in the cafeteria. Multiple witnesses. Clear-cut case. Zoe, this is your last chance to explain, Principal Davis said. What made you hit Madison? Zoe's jaw trembled, but she stayed silent. Fine. 3-day suspension. Possibly more if Mrs. Cooper decides to press charges. Press charges. Marcus stood. She's 10 years old. She assaulted my daughter. Zoe. Nicole knelt in front of her daughter. Baby, please, tell us what happened. We can't help if you won't talk. For a moment, Marcus thought Zoe would break. Then her face hardened again. I want to go home. In the parking lot, Nicole grabbed Marcus's arm. Something's wrong. Really wrong. Zoe doesn't act like this. I know, but she won't talk to me. Maybe she'll talk to me. Why would she talk to you? I'm the one who's been here for everything. Nicole flinched but held her ground. Because sometimes kids need someone who isn't their primary parent. Someone with distance. Marcus wanted to argue, but he was desperate. Fine, try. But Nicole, if this is about you being back in her life, if she's acting out because of the stress, then we'll deal with it, together. At home, Zoe went straight to her room and slammed the door. Marcus paced the kitchen while Nicole stood outside Zoe's door. Zoe, can I come in? No. Please, I just want to talk. I don't want to talk. You don't have to. Just listen then. Silence. Then the door unlocked. Nicole slipped inside, closing it behind her. Marcus pressed his ear to the door, hating himself for eavesdropping, but unable to stop. You want to tell me what happened? Nicole's voice was gentle. You'll be mad. I won't, I promise. Everyone will be mad. Try me. A long pause, then Zoe's voice small and broken. Madison said my mom was a deadbeat, that she abandoned me because I wasn't worth keeping. She said it in front of everyone. Marcus heard Nicole's sharp intake of breath. And then, Nicole asked, and then she said at least her mom wanted her, that her mom loved her enough to stay. She said my real mom probably had other kids now. Better kids, kids she actually wanted. Oh, sweetheart. So I hit her and I told her to shut up, and I'm not sorry. I'm not. Zoe was crying now, hard sobs that shook her whole body. "You know what she said isn't true, right?" Nicole's voice cracked. "I left because I was sick and broken, not because of anything wrong with you." "But you did leave. She's not wrong about that." "No, she's not. But Zoe, listen to me. You were always worth keeping, always worth loving. I'm the one who was broken, not you, never you." "Then why does it still hurt so much?" "Because wounds take time to heal, especially the deep ones." Marcus pulled away from the door, his own eyes burning. He'd protected Zoe from so much, but he couldn't protect her from this, from the consequences of Nicole's choices that had marked their daughter in ways he couldn't fix. When Nicole emerged 15 minutes later, her face was blotchy from crying. "She told you?" Marcus asked. "Yeah. That Cooper girl is cruel. She's a kid repeating things she's heard adults say. That's the real problem." "What do we do?" Nicole grabbed her purse. "I'm going to talk to Madison's mother. Clear this up." "Nicole, that's not a good idea. She's already furious." "I don't care. Her daughter needs to understand what she did, and her mother needs to know the whole story. Let me come with you." "No, this is on me. My choices caused this. I'll fix it." She left before Marcus could argue. He found Zoe in the kitchen, making a sandwich with mechanical movements. "You heard?" she asked without looking up. "Yeah." "Are you mad?" "At you?" "No." "At Madison?" "Yes. At the situation, definitely." "I shouldn't have hit her." "Probably not. But I understand why you did." Zoe finally looked at him. "Do you think she's right, that Mom left because I wasn't good enough?" "Absolutely not. Your mother left because she was drowning in depression and didn't know how to ask for help. It had nothing to do with you being good enough. You've always been more than good enough." "Then why do I feel like it's my fault?" Marcus pulled her into a hug. "Because that's what trauma does. It lies to us. Makes us think we caused things that had nothing to do with us. Did you ever think it was your fault, that maybe if you'd been different, she would have stayed?" The question gutted him. "Yeah. For a long time. I thought if I'd made more money, been home, been a better husband, she wouldn't have left." "But it wasn't your fault either." "No. It was mental illness and bad choices and terrible timing. But it wasn't us. We didn't break her." They sat together in the kitchen, eating sandwiches, and not talking, the comfortable silence of people who understood each other completely. Nicole returned 2 hours later, looking exhausted. "How'd it go?" Marcus asked. "About as well as expected. Mrs. Cooper threatened to call the police. I told her if she did, I'd explain to everyone why her daughter was bullying mine. That shut her up." "Did you talk to Madison?" "Yeah. Sat her down and told her exactly what I did. That I left my daughter when she was 2 because I had severe depression. That it was the worst thing I've ever done. That Zoe has spent years dealing with that trauma. And that words have consequences." "What did she say?" "She cried. Apologized. Said she didn't know. She'd heard her mother talking about Zoe's situation and thought it was something to use. Kids can be cruel. So can adults. Mrs. Cooper's been spreading gossip about us at school pickup, about how I abandoned my family. How you're a single father because I was irresponsible. She's been poison in Zoe's ear for months." Marcus felt fury rise. "We should report her." "For what? Telling the truth. I did abandon my family. I was irresponsible." "That's not the whole truth." "It's enough truth to hurt." They stood in the kitchen, the weight of old wounds pressing down. "Principal Davis called while you were gone," Marcus said. "If Madison's parents don't press charges and Zoe apologizes, they'll reduce the suspension to 1 day. Will Zoe apologize?" "I don't know. Should she?" Nicole thought about it. "I think she should apologize for hitting Madison. Not for being angry. The anger is justified. But violence isn't the answer." "I agree. But it's going to be hard for her to say sorry when she doesn't feel it." That's part of growing up. Learning to do hard things even when you don't want to. The next morning, Marcus drove Zoe to school early. Madison and her mother were already there sitting in Principal Davis's office. Zoe looked at her father. "Do I have to do this?" "Yes, but I'll be right here." They sat across from Madison, who looked smaller and more scared than she had the day before. "Zoe has something she wants to say," Principal Davis prompted. Zoe took a deep breath. "I'm sorry I hit you. That was wrong. Violence isn't okay even when someone hurts your feelings." Madison nodded. "I'm sorry too, for what I said. Your mom explained everything. I didn't know." "You didn't ask." "No, I didn't. I should have." Mrs. Cooper shifted uncomfortably. "Madison, what else?" "I'm sorry for all the other stuff too. The things I've said before, about your family. I was being mean because my mom said—" She stopped looking at her mother. "Because I made assumptions," Mrs. Cooper finished stiffly. "And I shouldn't have discussed your family situation where Madison could hear. I apologize." It wasn't a real apology. Marcus could hear the resentment underneath. But it was enough for Principal Davis. "Good. Zoe, 1-day suspension. You'll do a reflection essay on conflict resolution. Madison, you'll do the same on the impact of words. And Mrs. Cooper, I trust we won't have any more gossip issues." "Of course not." Outside, Marcus stopped Mrs. Cooper before she could leave. "I need you to understand something," he said quietly. "My daughter almost died last year. Cancer. She spent 6 months in Switzerland getting treatment. Her mother showed up after 7 years and saved her life with money from a job she'd spent years building. That's the story. Not whatever version you've been telling." Mrs. Cooper had the grace to look ashamed. "I didn't know about the cancer." "No, because you were too busy judging to ask. My ex-wife made terrible choices. But she's trying to fix them now, and my daughter doesn't deserve to be punished for adult mistakes." "You're right. I'm sorry. Truly." Marcus nodded and walked away, his hand on Zoe's shoulder. In the car, Zoe asked, "Do you think she meant it, Mrs. Cooper?" "I think she's embarrassed. That's not the same as sorry." "Will Madison be mean again?" "Maybe. Some people don't learn. But you handled yourself well in there." "I didn't want to apologize." "I know. But you did it anyway. That takes strength." That evening, Nicole came over with takeout. The three of them ate Chinese food straight from the containers, a strange little family unit that was becoming less strange every day. "I talked to a therapist," Nicole said suddenly. "About all of this. The bullying, the gossip, Zoe having to defend my choices." "And?" Marcus asked. "And she suggested family therapy. The three of us. To work through everything in a healthy way." Zoe perked up. "Like on TV, where everyone sits in a circle and talks about their feelings." "Sort of, but more structured, with someone trained to help families navigate complicated dynamics." Marcus's first instinct was to refuse, to protect their privacy. But looking at his daughter still dealing with the fallout of things she couldn't control, he reconsidered. "If Zoe wants to, I'm willing to try." "Zoe," Nicole asked, "will you both be there? Every session?" "Every one," Nicole promised. "Then okay, let's try it." Their first therapy session was the following week. Dr. Amanda Chen was a soft-spoken woman in her 40s who specialized in family reconciliation. "I want to start by establishing some ground rules," she said. "First, this is a judgment-free space. Whatever you feel is valid. Second, we speak honestly but kindly. And third, everyone gets heard. Understood?" They nodded. "Good. Marcus, why don't you start by telling me why you're here?" "Because my daughter punched another kid for saying her mother abandoned her, which is technically true, but also incredibly painful, and I don't know how to help her process that." "Nicole, I'm here because my choices hurt my family. I left when Zoe was 2. I've been back in her life for less than a year, and I'm realizing that just showing up isn't enough. We need help navigating this. And Zoe? Zoe picked at her jeans. I'm here because everyone keeps saying I need to forgive my mom, but I don't know how to forgive someone for missing my whole life just because they saved it once. The honesty hung in the air. That's a very mature observation, Dr. Chen said. Forgiveness isn't simple. It's not one big moment. It's a series of small choices. But here's what I want you to understand, all three of you. You're not trying to erase the past. You're trying to build a future despite it. Over the next several weeks, therapy became their anchor. They talked about anger and guilt and fear, about Marcus's resentment at having to share Zoe, about Nicole's shame at missing so much, about Zoe's confusion at loving someone who'd hurt her so deeply. I'm angry at her, Zoe admitted in one session. But I also love her. Both things are true, and I don't know what to do with that. You don't have to do anything with it, Dr. Chen said. You can hold both feelings at once. They don't cancel each other out. How long will I feel both? Maybe forever. Maybe the anger will fade with time. Everyone's different. I don't want to be angry forever. Then you won't be. The fact that you're here working through this means you're already choosing healing over anger. Marcus found himself opening up about things he'd buried for years. The loneliness of single parenting, the terror of almost losing Zoe to cancer, the complicated relief when Nicole showed up with a solution. I wanted to hate her, he confessed. When she came back with the money, part of me wished I could refuse. Let Zoe die rather than accept help from the woman who abandoned us. How messed up is that? That's human, Dr. Chen said. Pride and anger are powerful forces. The fact that you chose Zoe's life over your pride shows incredible strength. Nicole talked about the guilt that consumed her. I wake up every day knowing I missed 7 years of her life. 7 years I can never get back. How do I live with that? By being present now. By accepting that you can't change the past, but you can shape the future. What if I mess up again? Then you'll mess up. Parenting is making mistakes and learning from them. Marcus has made mistakes too, right? Marcus nodded. Plenty. But you're still here. Still trying. That's what matters. 3 months into therapy, they had a breakthrough session. Dr. Chen asked Zoe to write 2 letters, one to Marcus, one to Nicole, about what she needed from each of them. Zoe's letter to Marcus made him cry. Dear Daddy, I need you to know that loving Mom doesn't mean I love you less. You're my hero. You've always been my hero. But I need you to let me love her too, without feeling like I'm betraying you. I need you to trust that what we have is forever, no matter who else is in my life. Love, Zoe. The letter to Nicole was harder. Dear Mom, I need you to stop trying so hard. I need you to accept that you weren't here and you can't fix that. I need you to be patient while I figure out who you are to me. And I need you to promise, really promise, that you won't leave again. Because if you leave again, I don't think I'll survive it. Love, Zoe. Nicole's hands shook as she read it. I promise, baby, I promise. I'm here forever, no matter how hard it gets. How do I believe that? Zoe's voice broke. You promised to be my mom before. You promised Daddy you'd love him forever. You broke those promises. You're right, I did. But Zoe, I was a different person then. I was sick and scared and I didn't have tools to cope. I have those tools now. I have therapy and medication and support systems. I have resources I didn't have before. What if you get sick again? Then I'll get help. I won't run. I have too much to lose now. You had me before. Wasn't I enough to make you stay? The question shattered Nicole. You were always enough. God, you were more than enough. I was the one who wasn't enough. I failed you. Not because you weren't worth staying for, but because I didn't believe I was worth staying. I don't understand. Marcus leaned forward. Zoe, your mother didn't leave because you weren't lovable. She left because she didn't believe she deserved to be your mother. She thought you'd be better off without her. But I wasn't better off. No, Nicole agreed. You weren't. And I'm so sorry for that. I'm sorry for every birthday I missed, every school play, every nightmare, every moment you needed a mother and I wasn't there. I'm sorry. And I know sorry isn't enough, but it's all I have. Zoe cried. Nicole cried. Marcus cried. Dr. Chen handed out tissues and let them sit in their grief. This is good, she said finally. This is the hard work. You're not hiding from the pain anymore. You're facing it together. After the session, they sat in the parking lot, none of them ready to drive away. Ice cream, Marcus suggested. Yes, Zoe said immediately. At the ice cream shop, they got their usual orders. Rocky Road for Marcus, mint chip for Zoe, strawberry for Nicole. I remember now, Zoe said suddenly. You used to get strawberry ice cream when I was little, before you left. I didn't remember that until just now. Nicole's face lit up. You remember? Just little things, flashes, the way you smelled, like vanilla. The song you used to sing, something about stars. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. That's it. You'd sing it when I couldn't sleep. Every single night, sometimes 3 or 4 times. They sat there eating ice cream, building memories on top of old ones. Not erasing the past, but creating something new alongside it. Can I ask you something? Zoe said to Nicole. When you left, did you think about me? Like actually think about me? Or did you try to forget? Nicole set down her ice cream. I thought about you constantly, every single moment. I couldn't forget if I tried. I'd see kids your age at the store and wonder if you looked like them. I'd hear children laughing and search for your laugh. You haunted me in the best and worst way possible. Why didn't you come back sooner? Fear, shame, the belief that I'd already done too much damage. Every day that passed made it harder. The gap got wider and wider until it felt impossible to cross. What changed? The cancer. When I heard you were sick, something broke in me, or fixed itself. I realized I had one more chance to be your mother even from the shadows. One more chance to not fail you completely. You didn't fail completely. You left completely. That's different. Nicole flinched but nodded. You're right. But you came back. That counts for something. Does it? I'm still deciding. They finished their ice cream in contemplative silence. On the drive home, Zoe fell asleep in the back seat. Marcus and Nicole exchanged glances. She's getting there, Nicole whispered. Slowly. Yeah, we all are. Marcus, I know I say this a lot, but thank you for letting me back in, for letting me try. You're her mother. You deserve the chance to try. Do I really? After everything? Nobody's perfect. We all fail sometimes. You failed bigger than most, but you're also trying harder than most to make it right. That matters. Nicole wiped her eyes. When did you become so forgiving? I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. For her. For her, Nicole echoed. When they pulled up to the house, Zoe stirred awake. Mom, she said sleepily. Yeah, honey. Can you stay for a while? Maybe we could watch a movie, the 3 of us. Nicole looked at Marcus, who nodded. I'd like that, Nicole said. They went inside, the 3 of them, and curled up on the couch with a movie none of them paid attention to. Zoe fell asleep between her parents, her hand holding Nicole's, her head on Marcus's shoulder. Marcus caught Nicole's eye over their daughter's head. She smiled, and for the first time in 8 years, he smiled back without reservation. They were going to be okay. It would take time and work, and probably more therapy sessions than any of them wanted. But they were going to be okay. Because that's what family did. They broke. They hurt. They failed each other. And then, if they were brave enough, they found their way back together. The movie ended with credits rolling, but none of them moved. Zoe's breathing had deepened into real sleep, her face peaceful in a way Marcus hadn't seen in months. Nicole carefully extracted her hand from Zoe's grip and stood stretching. I should go. Let her sleep properly. Stay. The word surprised Marcus as much as it seemed to surprise Nicole. I mean, it's late. The guest room is made up. No point driving across town when you're exhausted. Are you sure? Yeah, for her. She'll wake up happy if you're still here. Nicole nodded, following him upstairs. He showed her the guest room, handed her a spare toothbrush, found her an old t-shirt to sleep in. This is weird, right? Nicole said, holding the shirt. Me staying in your house. Everything about this situation is weird. Might as well lean into it. She laughed softly. Fair point. Marcus, can I ask you something? Sure. Do you ever think about what our life would have looked like if I'd stayed? If I'd gotten help back then, instead of running? Marcus leaned against the door frame. Sometimes, usually at 3 a.m. when I can't sleep. And I think we probably would have struggled. Money was tight. We were kids ourselves. But maybe we would have made it work. Or maybe I would have destroyed us all slowly instead of quickly. Maybe. We'll never know. Nicole sat on the edge of the guest bed. Do you hate me? Still be honest. Marcus considered the question carefully. I hated you for a long time. The anger kept me going when things got hard. I could blame you for every difficult moment. Every time Zoe cried for her mother. Every school event where I was the only parent. That anger was fuel. And now I'm tired. Anger takes energy I don't have anymore. And watching you with Zoe, seeing how hard you're trying, it's hard to hold on to hate. But you're not ready to forgive either. No, not completely. But I'm getting there. Ask me again in a year. Nicole smiled sadly. I'll hold you to that. Marcus turned to leave, then stopped. Nicole. Thank you for saving her. I never said that properly. Thank you for giving me more time with my daughter. Our daughter. Our daughter. He agreed and meant it. The next morning, Marcus woke to the sound of laughter from downstairs. He found Zoe and Nicole making pancakes together, flour everywhere, music playing from Nicole's phone. Daddy, look, Mom's teaching me to flip them in the pan. I see that. Try not to burn the house down. They ate breakfast together, the three of them, and it felt dangerously close to normal. Like they were a family instead of 3 people carefully navigating around old wounds. I have to work today, Nicole said, checking her phone. Big presentation at 2. But maybe tomorrow we could do something, the 3 of us? Like what? Zoe asked. I don't know. Zoo museum, whatever you want. Can we go to the arcade, the one with the racing games? Marcus and Nicole both groaned. She'll bankrupt us in tokens, Marcus said. I'm very good at racing games, Zoe said proudly. She really is, Marcus admitted. She beats me every time. Then the arcade it is, Nicole agreed. Tomorrow at noon. After Nicole left, Zoe helped Marcus clean up the breakfast chaos. Dad? Yeah. It felt nice. Having her here this morning? Is that okay? Of course it's okay. Why wouldn't it be? Because you were alone with me for so long. I don't want you to feel like she's taking over. Marcus stopped washing dishes and pulled Zoe into a hug. Listen to me. Your relationship with your mother doesn't diminish what we have. Love multiplies. It doesn't divide. Dr. Chen said something like that. Dr. Chen is smart. You should listen to her. Do you think you and Mom will ever be friends? Like real friends? Maybe. We're working on it. Good, because it's exhausting having parents who hate each other. Marcus laughed. We don't hate each other. You did. Yeah, I did. But that's changing. The arcade trip the next day was chaos in the best way. Zoe dominated the racing games while Marcus and Nicole took turns losing to her. They ate pizza and won cheap prizes, and for a few hours, the weight of their history lifted. She's good, Nicole said, watching Zoe destroy Marcus at another racing game. Told you. I think she gets it from my side. My brother was obsessed with cars. I didn't know you had a brother. There's a lot we don't know about each other anymore. We were kids when we got together. We grew up apart. Do you ever wish we could start over, knowing what we know now? Every day. But we can't. We can only move forward with the mess we made. Zoe ran over holding a stuffed elephant she'd won. Look, can we go get ice cream after this? We literally just ate pizza, Marcus protested. Please, Mom hasn't tried the place on Main Street. They have the best rocky road. Marcus looked at Nicole, who shrugged. I could eat ice cream. You're both going to spoil her, Marcus said, but he was already heading for the exit. At the ice cream shop, they ran into Keisha, Marcus's sister, with her own kids. She stopped short, seeing the three of them together. Well, this is a surprise, Keisha said carefully. Hey, Keish, you remember Nicole? I do. Keisha's tone was neutral, but her eyes were protective. She'd been there through all of Marcus's dark years. She'd watched him raise Zoe alone. It's good to see you, Keisha, Nicole said quietly. Is it? Keisha looked at her brother. Marcus, can I talk to you for a second? They stepped outside while Nicole stayed with Zoe and Keisha's kids. What are you doing? Keisha demanded. Getting ice cream. You know what I mean. You're playing family with the woman who destroyed you. She's Zoe's mother. She stopped being Zoe's mother when she walked away. You're her parent. You earned that title. Keish, I know you're trying to protect me, but nothing. I watched you fall apart when she left. I held you while you cried. I helped with Zoe when you were working 3 jobs, and now she shows up with money and suddenly all is forgiven. It's not forgiven, but it's different. She saved Zoe's life. With money she earned while living her best life without you two. Marcus felt anger flare. You don't know what her life was like. And you do. Marcus, she had 7 years to come back. She chose not to. Don't let one good deed erase 7 years of abandonment. I'm not erasing anything. I'm trying to do what's best for Zoe. And right now that means letting Nicole be part of her life. What about what's best for you? I'm not important. You're always saying that. Always putting yourself last. When do you get to matter? Marcus looked through the window at Zoe, laughing at something Nicole said. When Zoe's happy, I matter. When she's whole, I'm whole. Keisha softened. I just don't want to see you hurt again. Too late. I've been hurt for 8 years. This is just a different kind of hurt. They went back inside. Keisha was polite but cool to Nicole, making it clear where her loyalties lay. After she left with her kids, Nicole turned to Marcus. Your sister hates me. She doesn't hate you. She's protective. No, she hates me. And she's right to. I abandoned her niece. Nicole, it's okay. I deserve it. I deserve all of it. The judgment, the anger, the distrust. I made my choices. Zoe looked between them, sensing tension. Can we just enjoy our ice cream, please? They did, or tried to. But the encounter with Keisha had reminded Marcus that the world outside their little bubble wasn't as forgiving as he was trying to be. That night, after dropping Nicole at her apartment, Marcus and Zoe drove home in silence. Aunt Keisha doesn't like Mom, Zoe observed. She's just protective of us. She thinks Mom will leave again. A lot of people think that. Do you? Marcus chose his words carefully. I think your mom is trying really hard not to. But I also think we have to protect ourselves. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. That sounds exhausting. It is. I don't want to prepare for the worst. I want to believe she'll stay. Then believe it, baby. You're allowed to have more faith than me. 2 weeks later, Marcus got a call that changed everything. His foreman at the construction site voiced tight with urgency. Marcus, we need you here now. There's been an accident. His blood went cold. What kind of accident? Jimmy fell from the scaffold. Paramedics are here, but it's bad. Really bad. Marcus had worked with Jimmy Torres for 6 years. He was a good man, father of 3, always careful about safety. I'm coming. He called Nicole from the truck. I need you to pick up Zoe from school. There's been an accident at work. I don't know when I'll be done. Of course. Is everyone okay? No, I have to go. At the hospital, Marcus sat with Jimmy's wife Rosa while doctors worked to save Jimmy's life. A fall from 40 feet. Multiple fractures, internal bleeding. The prognosis was grim. Rosa sobbed into Marcus's shoulder. We have 3 kids. What am I going to do if... Don't think like that. Jimmy's strong. But Marcus knew the statistics. Falls from that height were usually fatal. Hours passed. Nicole texted that she had Zoe. They'd had dinner. Zoe was doing homework. Did he need anything? He typed back. Just keep her safe. At midnight, a doctor emerged face grave. Mrs. Torres, your husband is out of surgery. He's stable but critical. The next 48 hours will tell us everything. Rosa nearly collapsed with relief. Marcus held her up, walking her to Jimmy's room. Jimmy looked small in the hospital bed, machines breathing for him, tubes everywhere. Marcus was suddenly back in Switzerland, watching his own daughter fight for life. He'll make it, Marcus told Rosa, praying it was true. He's a fighter. He got home at 2 a.m. to find Nicole asleep on his couch, Zoe tucked into bed upstairs. Hey, he said softly, waking her. You didn't have to stay. Nicole sat up, disoriented. How's your friend? Alive. Barely. It could have been me, Nicole. I was supposed to be on that scaffold. Jimmy took my shift because I wanted to go to Zoe's school thing. Marcus? If I'd been there, I'd be the one in the ICU, and Zoe would be... His voice broke. Nicole pulled him down next to her. But you weren't. You're here. You're safe. For now. But I work a dangerous job. Every day I go to work, there's a chance I don't come home. So what are you saying? I'm saying what happens to Zoe if something happens to me. I have life insurance, but money isn't apparent. Who takes care of her? Nicole's face went pale. I would. Of course I would. Would you really? Could you handle it alone? I'd have to. But could you? Because last time things got hard, you left. The words hung between them, sharp and true. That's not fair, Nicole whispered. It's completely fair. I need to know, Nicole. If I die, if something happens to me, will you stay? Or will you run again? I'd stay. God, Marcus, I'd stay. I wouldn't have a choice. There's always a choice. That's what you taught me. Nicole stood pacing. You want me to promise I could handle being a full-time single parent? The thing I failed at before. Yes, that's exactly what I want. And if I can't promise that, then we need to make other arrangements. My sister would take Zoe. She's already offered. You'd give our daughter to Keisha instead of me. I'd give our daughter to whoever can actually take care of her. Nicole's face crumpled. You don't trust me? No, I don't. Not completely. Not yet. After everything, after all the progress we've made. Progress doesn't erase history. You left once. What stops you from leaving again? The fact that I know what it cost me, Marcus. I lost 7 years with my daughter. I missed everything. I'm not that person anymore. How do I know that? How do I know you won't crack under pressure again? You don't. You have to have faith. Faith isn't enough when my daughter's future is at stake. They stared at each other, all the goodwill of recent weeks evaporating. So what do you want from me? Nicole asked. What would prove I'm trustworthy? I don't know. But until I figure it out, Keisha stays as Zoe's guardian in my will. Does Zoe know about this? No, and she doesn't need to. She'll find out, and she'll know you chose Keisha over me. I chose stability over uncertainty. That's my job as her father. Nicole grabbed her purse. I should go. Nicole. No, you're right. I need to earn your trust. I get that. But Marcus, I need you to give me a chance to earn it. And that means actually believing I can change." She left, and Marcus sat in the silence of his house, wondering if he'd just destroyed the fragile peace they'd built. Upstairs, Zoe's door opened. She came down in her pajamas, rubbing her eyes. "I heard you fighting." "Sorry, baby. We didn't mean to wake you." "Is Mom leaving again?" "No. We just had a disagreement." "About me." Marcus pulled her onto his lap. "About grown-up stuff. Don't worry about it." "I always worry about it. I worry that you two will fight so much she'll leave, or that she'll mess up and you won't forgive her. I worry about all of it all the time." "You shouldn't have to carry that." "But I do. Because if she leaves again, it'll break me, Daddy. It almost killed me the first time, and I didn't even remember her. Now I do. Now I love her. If she leaves now, I don't think I'll survive it." Marcus held his daughter while she cried, hating himself for the fight, hating Nicole for leaving the first time, hating the situation that put this burden on a 10-year-old's shoulders. "She's not going to leave," he promised, hoping it was true. "How do you know?" "Because I won't let her. If she tries, I'll stop her." "You can't stop someone from leaving if they really want to go." The wisdom in those words broke his heart. "No, I can't. But I can make it harder. And I can be here to catch you if she does." "You're always here to catch me." "Always, baby girl. Always." The next morning, Marcus called Nicole. "I'm sorry about last night." "Me too. But Nicole, we need to have this conversation. About custody. About what happens if something happens to me." "I know, you're right. Can we talk about it?" "Really talk. Not fight." "Yeah. Can you come over tonight after Zoe's asleep?" "I'll be there." That evening, they sat at Marcus's kitchen table with coffee and uncomfortable truths. "I'm scared," Nicole admitted. "Terrified of being a full-time parent. Last time I tried, I failed spectacularly." "So what's different now?" "I have support systems, therapy, medication, money to hire help if I need it. And I have experience watching you do it right." "You think watching is enough?" "No, but it's more than I had before. Marcus, if something happened to you, I wouldn't have a choice. I'd have to step up, and I believe I could. Not perfectly, not without mistakes, but I'd try. Every day I'd try." "That's not enough reassurance." "What would be enough? Tell me what I need to do to prove I can handle it." Marcus thought for a long moment. "Take her for a week. Full-time. I'll go on a work trip. You handle everything. School homework, meals, bedtime, the whole thing. A test. A trial run. See if you can actually do it. And if I can, then I'll update my will, make you her guardian. And if I can't, then we'll know, and we'll plan accordingly." Nicole's hands shook around her coffee mug. "When?" "Next month. I have a job in Nashville, 5 days. You'd have her Monday through Friday." "Okay." Nicole's voice was barely audible. "Okay, I'll do it." "You sure?" "No, but I'll do it anyway." They told Zoe about the plan the next day. Her reaction surprised them both. "Finally," she said. "Finally," Marcus repeated. "You two have been tiptoeing around each other for months, acting like everything's fine but not really trusting each other. Maybe this will help." "You're okay with it, me being gone for a week." "Daddy, you raised me to be brave. This is me being brave." "I'm not sure I'm brave enough," Nicole admitted. "You saved my life," Zoe said simply. "You can handle 5 days." The month passed too quickly. Marcus prepared obsessively. Lists of Zoe's routines, emergency contacts, meal plans. Nicole's apartment phone number taped to the fridge. "I'm not dying." Marcus told Keisha, who'd come over to voice her concerns. "I'm going to Nashville for 5 days. And leaving your daughter with someone who's proven she can't handle parenting. She deserves a chance to prove she's changed." At Zoe's expense? Zoe agreed to it. Zoe's 10. She doesn't get to make these decisions. I'm her father, and I am making this decision. You're making a mistake. Maybe, but it's mine to make. The morning Marcus left, Zoe hugged him tight. Don't worry about me, Daddy. We'll be fine. Call me if you need anything at all. I will. Love you. Love you too, baby girl. He hugged Nicole. You've got this. I hope so. The first day went smoothly. Nicole texted updates. Zoe at school. Check. Picked up on time. Check. Homework done. Check. Dinner made. Check. Day 2 was harder. Zoe forgot her lunch. Nicole had to leave work to bring it. Then Zoe had a meltdown about a math test. Nicole called Marcus in a panic. She's crying and I don't know what to do. She won't talk to me. Put her on. Zoe's voice was thick with tears. Daddy, I miss you. I miss you too. But you're okay. Mom's there. She's not you. No. But she's trying. Help her. Help you, baby. After he hung up, Nicole got back on. How do you do this every day? One crisis at a time. You're doing fine, Nicole. I don't feel fine. I feel like I'm drowning. Welcome to parenthood. Day 3. Zoe got sick. A fever. Nothing serious, but Nicole was terrified. Should I take her to the ER? Does she have trouble breathing? No. Can she keep down fluids? Yes. Then give her medicine and let her rest. Call if she gets worse. Nicole called back an hour later. She's sleeping. But Marcus, I'm so scared. What if something happens and I don't know what to do? Then you figure it out, like I did, like every parent does. You make it sound easy. It's not. It's the hardest thing in the world. But you do it anyway. Day 4 passed without crisis. Nicole sent a picture of her and Zoe making cookies, both of them covered in flour, and laughing. Getting the hang of this, Nicole texted. Day 5. Marcus drove home early, anxious to see his daughter. He found Nicole's apartment and knocked. Zoe opened the door. Daddy, you're early? She looked healthy, happy, well cared for. Nicole appeared behind her, looking exhausted but proud. We survived. You did more than survive, Marcus said, looking around. The apartment was messy, but lived in. Zoe's backpack by the door. Her shoes kicked off. Signs of a child actually living there, not visiting. How was it really? He asked Nicole while Zoe packed her things. Terrifying, exhausting, overwhelming. She smiled. But also amazing. I got to be her mom, really be her mom. Wake her up, make her breakfast, help with homework, tuck her in. All of it. And Marcus, I didn't run. Even when it got hard, I stayed. I see that. So, do I pass the test? Marcus looked at his daughter singing to herself while she packed. Looked at Nicole, hopeful and scared and determined. Yeah, he said finally. You pass. Nicole's eyes filled with tears. Really? I'll update my will next week. If something happens to me, Zoe's yours. Thank you. God, Marcus, thank you. Don't thank me. Just promise you'll take care of her. I promise. With everything I have, I promise. Zoe came back, bag in hand. Ready to go home, Daddy? Actually, Nicole said carefully, I was hoping you could stay one more night. We could have a girls' day tomorrow, shopping, movie, whatever you want. Zoe looked at Marcus for permission. He nodded. If you want to. Yeah, I want to. Marcus left his daughter there feeling lighter than he had in months. The test had been for Nicole, but it had also been for him. Learning to let go. Learning to trust. In the parking lot, he called Keisha. I'm updating my will. Nicole will be Zoe's guardian if something happens to me. Keisha was silent for a long moment. Are you sure about this? Yeah, I am. What changed? I watched her be a mother for 5 days, and she was good at it. Not perfect, but good. She stayed when it got hard. That's all I needed to see. If you're sure. I am, but Quiche. Thank you for having my back all these years. It meant everything. Always, little brother. Always. Marcus drove home to his empty house and felt for the first time in 8 years like maybe everything would actually be okay. The empty house felt different that night. Not lonely exactly, but quiet in a way that made Marcus reflect on how much had changed in the past year. He made himself dinner, ate it, standing at the counter, and caught himself reaching for his phone to check on Zoe before remembering she was fine. She was with her mother. Her mother. The words didn't sting anymore. 6 months passed in a rhythm that felt almost normal. Zoe split time between both parents. Marcus adjusted to having weekends alone. Nicole learned to navigate school conferences and soccer practice, and the 1,000 tiny crises that made up childhood. Then came the phone call that tested everything they'd built. Marcus was at a job site when his phone rang. Unknown number. He almost didn't answer. Mr. Washington, this is Rebecca Chen from Memphis Medical Center. We have your daughter here. His heart stopped. What happened? She collapsed at school. We're running tests, but we need you here now. Marcus was in his truck before she finished talking. His hands shook so badly he could barely grip the steering wheel. Not again. Please God, not again. He called Nicole. Meet me at Memphis Medical. Zoe collapsed. What is she? I don't know. Just get there. Nicole beat him to the hospital. She was already talking to doctors when Marcus ran into the ER, still covered in construction dust. She's stable, Nicole said, immediately grabbing his hands. She's stable. They think it's dehydration and exhaustion. Where is she? Room 412. They're running more tests to make sure it's not the cancer. The word hung between them like a bomb. Cancer. The thing they'd beaten once. The thing that could always come back. They found Zoe in bed with IVs in her arm, looking small and scared. Hey, baby girl, Marcus said, trying to keep his voice steady. You okay? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. You didn't do anything wrong. What happened? I don't know. I was in PE and everything went black. Nicole sat on the other side of the bed. Have you been feeling sick, tired? Maybe a little, but I didn't think it was serious. A doctor entered, young and efficient. Mr. Washington, Ms. Harrison, I'm Dr. Kim. We've run preliminary tests, and the good news is we don't see any signs of cancer recurrence. Marcus felt his knees go weak. Thank God. However, Zoe's severely dehydrated and her blood sugar was dangerously low. When's the last time she ate a full meal? Marcus and Nicole looked at each other, then at Zoe. Zoe, Nicole prompted. I had breakfast. What did you eat? A banana. And yesterday, Zoe's face flushed. I don't remember. Dr. Kim's expression grew serious. Zoe, I need you to be honest with me. Have you been skipping meals on purpose? No, I just haven't been hungry. She's lying, Marcus said quietly. He knew his daughter. Zoe, the truth. Tears filled her eyes. Some girls at school said I looked fat. They said cancer made me puffy, so I've been eating less, just to lose the weight the medicine made me gain. Nicole made a sound like she'd been punched. Oh, sweetheart, no. I just wanted to look normal again, like before I got sick. Doctor. Kim pulled up a chair. Zoe, you're not fat. Your body is recovering from aggressive treatment. The weight you gained is healthy. Your body healing itself. But skipping meals is incredibly dangerous, especially for someone with your medical history. I didn't know I'd pass out. You're malnourished. Another few days and you could have done serious damage to your heart, your organs. Do you understand how serious this is? Zoe nodded, crying harder. Marcus pulled her close, his own tears falling. Why didn't you tell us? He asked. About the girls, about how you were feeling. Because you both worry so much already. I didn't want to be another problem. You're never a problem. Nicole said fiercely. Those girls are cruel and wrong. You're beautiful. You're perfect. I don't feel perfect. I feel broken. Dr. Kim intervened gently. Zoe, I'm going to recommend you talk to someone. A counselor who specializes in helping kids who've been through what you've been through. Would that be okay? Do I have to? I think it would help, Marcus said. Baby, you've been through so much. Cancer treatment, your mom coming back. That's a lot for anyone, let alone a kid. Talking to someone might make it easier. Will you come with me? Both of you. Every session if you want, Nicole promised. They kept Zoe overnight for observation and IV fluids. Marcus and Nicole took turns sitting with her, neither willing to leave. Around midnight, when Zoe was finally sleeping, they found themselves in the hospital cafeteria drinking terrible coffee and processing. I missed it, Marcus said. I was so focused on making sure you and Zoe were building a relationship that I missed my daughter starving herself. I missed it too. I see her every other day. I should have noticed. Some parents we are. Nicole reached across the table, taking his hand. We're doing the best we can. That's all anyone can do. What if our best isn't good enough? Then we get help, we adjust, we try harder. But Marcus, we can't catch everything. We're human. I don't get to be human. I'm her father. I'm supposed to protect her from everything. You can't protect her from being a kid in a cruel world. You can only love her through it. Marcus rubbed his eyes. I'm tired, Nicole. So tired of crisis after crisis. Just once, I want normal. Boring. No hospitals, no emergencies, just normal life. Me too. But I don't think normal is in the cards for us. No, probably not. They sat in exhausted silence, holding hands across a cafeteria table. Two broken people trying to raise a child more broken than either of them. The counselor they found was named Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a woman in her 50s who specialized in pediatric cancer survivors. Zoe liked her immediately. Tell me about school, Dr. Mitchell said in their first session. It's fine. Is it your dad's tell me some girls have been saying hurtful things? Zoe glanced at Marcus and Nicole sitting on either side of her. They don't understand. Nobody does unless they've been through it. Through what? Cancer. Everyone treats you different after. Either they're too careful like you're made of glass, or they're cruel like you're damaged goods. Which are these girls? The second kind. They say I look weird, that my hair grew back wrong, that the scars on my arms from IVs are gross. Nicole's hands clenched into fists. Marcus put a restraining hand on her knee. How does that make you feel? Dr. Mitchell asked. Angry, sad, ashamed, all of it at once. And stopping eating was what punishment control. Both maybe. I couldn't control the cancer. Couldn't control my parents splitting up and getting back together. But I could control what I ate. That was mine. Except it wasn't control, it was harm. I know that now. Do you really? Because eating disorders are sneaky, Zoe. They convince you that you're in charge when really they're running the show. Zoe picked at her shoelace. I don't want to have an eating disorder. That's not me. It doesn't have to be you. But we need to address it before it becomes you. And that means being honest. With me, with your parents, with yourself. Over the next few weeks, the sessions got harder. Zoe admitted she'd been weighing herself multiple times a day, that she'd started exercising in secret, that the voice in her head telling her she wasn't good enough had gotten louder. It started even before the girls said anything, she confessed. When Mom came back, I kept thinking if I'd been better, prettier, smarter, maybe she wouldn't have left in the first place. Nicole's face crumpled. Oh, baby, no, that's not... Let her finish, Dr. Mitchell instructed gently. I know it's not logical, Zoe continued. You left because you were sick, not because of me. But there's this part of my brain that doesn't believe that. That thinks if I'm perfect enough, nobody will ever leave again. Zoe, look at me, Nicole said. I'm going to tell you something true. You were the most perfect baby in the world. Beautiful and sweet and so wanted. I left because I was broken. Not because you were anything less than amazing. But how do I make my brain believe that? That's what we're going to work on, Dr. Mitchell said, separating the truth from the lies your anxiety tells you. Marcus had been quiet, but now he spoke. Zoe, you know what I think about every day. What? How lucky I am to be your dad. Not because you're perfect, because you're real. You get mad, you make mistakes, you're stubborn, and sometimes you don't listen. And I love every imperfect piece of you. Even the piece that messed up, especially that piece, because it means you're human, and humans mess up. That's what we do. Family therapy became a regular thing. Marcus and Nicole learning to communicate better. Zoe learning to express her feelings instead of bottling them up. Slowly, painfully, they began to heal. 3 months after the hospital incident, Zoe had gained back the weight she'd lost and was eating normally again. The girls at school had moved on to tormenting someone else. Life found a new equilibrium. Then Nicole showed up at Marcus's house on a random Tuesday evening, her face serious. We need to talk. Marcus's stomach dropped. Those words never meant anything good. Zoe's at soccer practice. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. But I need to tell you something, and I don't know how you're going to react. Just say it. Nicole took a deep breath. I've been seeing someone, dating. It's new only a few weeks, but it's getting serious. And I think it's time Zoe met him. Marcus felt like he'd been hit. You're dating? Yes. Who is he? His name is David. He's a teacher, middle school science. We met at a community event. And you want to introduce him to our daughter? Eventually, not immediately. But Marcus, if this is going somewhere, she needs to know. I don't want to hide it. Marcus paced the living room. Does she need another person in her life right now? She's barely stable. That's why I'm asking you first. I won't do anything you're not comfortable with. Since when do you care about my comfort? Nicole flinched. That's not fair. Isn't it? A year ago you were begging me to let you back into Zoe's life. Now you're bringing random men around. He's not random. And I'm not bringing him around yet. I'm asking your permission. What if I say no? Then I won't. Zoe comes first. Always. Marcus stopped pacing, looking at Nicole, really looking at her. She was glowing in a way he hadn't seen before. Happy. The kind of happy that came from being loved. You really like this guy. I do. He's kind and patient, and he knows about my past, about leaving Zoe. He didn't run. He wants to meet her when the time is right. And when is that the right time? I don't know. That's why I'm here, to figure it out together. Marcus sat down heavily. I don't know if I'm ready for Zoe to have a stepfather. He wouldn't be a stepfather. He'd just be someone I'm dating, who happens to meet my daughter. Kids don't think like that. If he's important to you, he becomes important to her. Is that such a bad thing? Having more people love her. It is if they leave. Everyone in Zoe's life who isn't me has left or almost left. I can't watch her get attached to someone else who might disappear. David's not going anywhere. You said the same thing about me once. Look how that turned out. The words hung between them sharp and true. Nicole looked away. You're right. I did. And I broke that promise. But Marcus, you can't punish every future person in my life because I failed once. I'm not punishing anyone. I'm protecting my daughter. Our daughter. And she deserves to see me happy. To know that people can build new lives after mistakes. Fine. Bring him around. But I meet him first. Before Zoe. I want to know who's going to be in her life. Nicole smiled. Deal. How about dinner? The 3 of us this weekend. Make it 4. I'm bringing Keisha. Your sister hates me. Exactly. If David can handle Keisha, he can handle anything. Saturday came faster than Marcus wanted. Nicole arrived at the restaurant with a man who looked nothing like Marcus had imagined. David Chen was shorter, rounder, with kind eyes and an easy smile. He shook Marcus's hand firmly. "Marcus, good to meet you. Nicole talks about you and Zoe constantly." "Does she?" "In the best way. She's really proud of how you raised Zoe." Keisha arrived, took one look at David, and launched into interrogation mode. "So you're dating a woman who abandoned her kid. That doesn't bother you?" "Keisha," Marcus warned. "It's okay," David said. "It's a fair question. Does it bother me?" "Yeah. What she did was wrong. But people are more than their worst mistakes. I see someone who's working incredibly hard to make amends. That matters to me." Pretty words, but what happens when things get hard? When Nicole gets overwhelmed? You going to be okay with her running again? "I'm not going to run," Nicole said quietly. "You did before. And I live with that every day. But I'm not that person anymore. I've put in the work. Therapy, medication, building a support system. I won't make the same mistake twice." People always say that right before they make the same mistake. David reached for Nicole's hand. "I can't promise the future. None of us can. But I can promise that if Nicole struggles, I'll be there to help. Not to enable running away, but to help her work through whatever comes." Marcus studied them together. The way Nicole leaned into David. The way David's thumb rubbed circles on her hand. They were solid. Real. "Zoe's fragile right now," Marcus said. "She's dealing with body image issues, anxiety about people leaving. If you come into her life and then bail, it'll destroy her." "I won't bail." "How can you promise that you barely know us?" "I can't. But I can promise to try. Every day to try. That's all any of us can do." Keisha leaned back. "He's better than I expected." "High praise from you," Nicole said dryly. "Don't push it. I still don't trust you. But him, he seems decent." They ordered food, the tension gradually easing. David asked questions about Zoe. What she liked, what she was good at, what made her laugh. He listened carefully, taking mental notes. "I don't want to replace Marcus," David said. "That's not my role, and I don't want it. I just want to be a positive presence if Zoe's okay with it." "When would you want to meet her?" Marcus asked. "Whenever you think she's ready. No rush." They decided on a casual meeting. Ice cream, public place, low pressure. 2 weeks away to give everyone time to prepare. Marcus told Zoe that evening while they made dinner together. "Mom's dating someone. He wants to meet you." Zoe stopped cutting vegetables. "Dating like boyfriend dating?" "Yeah." "Is he nice?" "Seems to be. I met him. He's a teacher." "What does Mom think?" "She really likes him." Zoe processed this. "Are you okay with it?" The question surprised Marcus. "What do you mean?" "I mean you and Mom were married, had me together. Is it weird for you that she's with someone else?" Marcus chose his words carefully. "It's different. But your mom and I aren't getting back together. We're better as friends and parents. She deserves to be happy." "Do you deserve to be happy?" "I am happy. I have you." "That's not the same thing. You should date too." "I'm not really interested in dating right now." "Because of Mom." "Because I'm busy raising you." "I'm not a baby anymore, Dad. You could have a life." "You are my life." Zoe hugged him. "I love you. But I want you to be happy like Mom is. Not just okay. Actually happy." The conversation stuck with Marcus. Was he happy? He had his daughter, his job, his health. But was that happiness, or just contentment? He thought about Nicole glowing with new love, about the possibilities of starting over, about whether he'd closed himself off so completely that he'd forgotten how to be open. 2 weeks later, they met David for ice cream. Zoe was nervous, chattering too fast about nothing. Nicole held her hand. "It's okay to be nervous. He's nervous too. What if I don't like him? Then we'll deal with that, but give him a chance, okay?" David was already there looking terrified. He stood when they approached. "Hi, Zoe. I'm David. Your mom's told me a lot about you." "Hi." Zoe's voice was small. They ordered ice cream. David asked Zoe about school, about soccer, about her favorite subjects. He was gentle, funny, never pushing too hard. "Your mom says you like science. That's what I teach. 8th grade." "Really? What's your favorite unit?" "Astronomy. I love teaching kids about stars and planets. Makes the universe feel less scary when you understand it better." Zoe's eyes lit up. "I love astronomy. I want to be an astronaut someday." "That's amazing. Have you been to the planetarium here?" "No. Dad's always saying we'll go, but we never do." "I could take you, if that's okay with your parents. I know the director. We could get a private tour." Zoe looked at Marcus, hope in her eyes. "Can we?" Marcus wanted to say no, wanted to keep being the only important man in his daughter's life. But looking at her excitement, he swallowed his pride. "If your mom's okay with it." Nicole smiled. "I'm okay with it." They finished their ice cream, Zoe and David deep in conversation about Mars rovers and the possibility of life on other planets. Marcus watched his daughter laugh at David's terrible science jokes and felt something shift. This was good. Painful for him maybe, but good for Zoe. And her happiness was all that mattered. After they said goodbye, Zoe grabbed Marcus's hand. "He's nice, Dad, really nice. Is it okay if I like him?" "Of course it's okay. You're not sad." "Maybe a little, but that's my problem, not yours. You like who you like." That night, Marcus sat alone in his house and let himself feel the grief he'd been pushing down. Grief for the family they'd never been, for the marriage that failed, for the years of raising Zoe alone, for the life he'd imagined that never materialized. He cried harder than he had in years. Not for what was lost, but for what was changing. For having to share his daughter with new people. For accepting that the family unit he'd built was expanding whether he was ready or not. His phone rang. Nicole. "Hey, Zoe in bed?" "Yeah, just tucked her in." "Marcus, thank you, for today, for being gracious. I know it wasn't easy." "It wasn't, but it was necessary." "Are you okay?" "I will be." "If you need to talk?" "I don't, but thanks." He hung up and sat in the dark, feeling the weight of change pressing down. Tomorrow, he'd be okay. Tomorrow, he'd put his smile back on and keep moving forward. But tonight, he let himself grieve for the family they'd lost and the future that was unfolding without his permission. Because that's what love was. Letting go, even when you wanted to hold on. Choosing someone else's happiness over your own comfort. Being brave when every instinct screamed to protect yourself. Marcus had been brave for 10 years. He could be brave a little longer. For Zoe. Always for Zoe. 6 months later, Marcus stood in Nicole's living room, watching his daughter blow out candles on her 11th birthday cake. Nicole stood beside David, their hands intertwined. Keisha and her kids ran wild through the apartment. Friends from school laughed and played games. It wasn't the family Marcus had imagined, but it was family nonetheless. Messy and complicated and absolutely imperfect. Zoe caught his eye across the room and smiled. A smile that said, "Thank you for letting me have this. Thank you for being brave enough to let people in." And Marcus smiled back, meaning it this time. Because watching his daughter surrounded by people who loved her, that was enough. That was everything. They'd survived cancer and abandonment and reconciliation. They'd survived doubt and fear and the painful process of forgiveness. They'd survived because they chose to. Every day they chose each other. That was the story Marcus would tell if anyone asked. Not about the woman who left, but about the family who found their way back. About second chances and hard-won grace. About 2 words that changed everything. "I'm listening," he'd said that night in the pharmacy. And in the end, listening had been enough. To hear Nicole's pain. To understand Zoe's needs. To find a way forward that honored all of them. The cake was chocolate, Zoe's favorite. She made a wish and blew out the candles, and Marcus sent up a prayer that whatever she wished for, she'd get it. His daughter deserved happiness. They all did. And maybe, just maybe, they'd finally found it.